One more time
One more time.
for the people. Let them hear it loud.
We're gonna do it live.
We'll do it live.
This is one of those days. All right, we got no video out. We tried 4 times to get the stream working, but I think we finally sorted the audio at least. So that is one step in the right direction. We're gonna try to get some people in here. We're gonna try to get some free takeovers going. Now, in the meantime, my energy counter's full, so I gotta run something. All right. What am I running right now? I don't even know. Let's go run some Minotaur. We can run Minotaur. That's fine. Oh, we don't have any auto battles, so we're just gonna have to manually click this. But in the meantime, hopefully some people will start showing up here, and yeah, that'll be good.
Jacob says, testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we think we figured it out. You said there's some sort of like plugin that you're running with audio that
Yeah, I was running.
Seems to be where the issue was coming from.
Yeah, I was running 2 different plugins, which I need, by the way, for the videos. I have to have those plugins, so I'm gonna have to redo those plugins, and that's fine because like I didn't uninstall the plugins; I just removed the filters.
Yeah.
So we'll figure that out. Are you seeing people in the chat right now?
Yeah, we've got Jacob, Adrian, Civic, Mihai, Ash.
Okay.
Bane is here. Jacob.
I'm not getting the chat here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. All right. How to switch that. All right, Jacob. Yeah, Adrian, speak. Mihai, Ash, Great Dane, Ian, Denise. Hello, hello, hello. All right. So yeah, we are we're gonna do a little bit of a free takeover. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna wait about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna pull a name from the wheel. So if anybody's interested in a takeover, here are the conditions of the takeover. You have to have a tiny bit of silver. You have to have like at least 1 million silver. If you don't have at least 1 million silver, please don't sign up for the takeover. Okay? You have 5 minutes right now. If you need to go like do a gear cleanse and get yourself some silver, go ahead and get some silver. We are not doing any Hydra clan boss takeovers today. That's just going to take too long. But if anybody needs help with arena or with dungeons, maybe a Doom Tower boss or a clan boss tweak or something like that, if you have questions about who to 6-star next or you want to rebuild on a particular champion, yeah, any of those kinds of takeovers, we're happy to do it. But like I said, have at least 1 million silver, preferably like 5-10 million silver. That would be good. There is a current artifact enhancement tournament going on. So if you're doing the fusion, then any kind of rebuilds that I do would count towards the artifact enhancement. So, yo, is takeover happening? Says Dave. Yep. So go ahead, and if you haven't signed up to the Discord community, you need to be part of our Discord community, and there will be a 10-minute wait to join. Because once you join the Discord community, you still need 10 minutes to be able to chat there. So you're not going to be able to do the takeover for the first one. But hopefully we'll get through 2 takeovers today. So make sure that you're in the Discord community. And then go down to the coaching corner in the Discord. So go down to the coaching corner section. And then there is a wheel of takeover. And all you've got to do is react to Sun's message. And as long as you don't have to type a response, you just have to react to the message. Any kind of reaction works. And that's going to enter you into the wheel. And yeah, we've got
not that you can type there anyways.
Yeah, right.
It's locked out. All you can do is react.
Now, a couple of things about the takeover. Make sure you know your email account. Make sure you know your password. So when you hand me that information, that we can get going right away. And then the second thing is, like I said, if you have a little bit of silver, that's good. And then also, what else? Oh, yeah, have an idea about what it is you'd like me to do, so that you can you're going to text that to me, or you're going to DM me in Discord and tell me what it is you'd like me to work on for your account, and then we'll see if we can help you out. Knights of Honor, Dark Magic Raven. Hi, fellas. Hello. Good to see you. Emery Convent is here. Femril is here. Mario is here. McKiller. Excellent. A lot of the usual suspects. We like that. A couple of names we don't see all that often. That's always nice to see some new names. Ian's got 20 million silver already. All right. How to solo multi-core. Yeah, that'd be an interesting and different video. All right, well, we just hit the 5-minute mark. So we've got 11 reactions. Let's do it. Let's pull right away. Why wait for more people?
All right.
Yeah, let's just pull. Let's get a takeover going. We don't have a ton of time, and I want to help some people out. Wheel of Names is thinking.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, even with 11 names, it thinks for a long time.
Right on the border, we got our first winner. Freaky Gamer 816.
Freaky Gamer. Who's Freaky Gamer? Shout it out in the stream chat, and then go ahead and make sure that you DM me in the Discord.
Oh, that was Dave, the one asking how to get in.
That's awesome. Congrats.
There you go.
There we go. All right, so you're gonna join us in the coaching corner. You will be muted, so you won't be live on stream, but you can just DM me your account information. And
wait, hold on a second. He's not in either of our clans.
He's not in either of our clans? Respin. We're gonna respin.
It's broken. It's broken.
Yeah.
My secret rules to only let clan members win are broken. How did this happen?
By the way, don't forget to hit the like button on the stream. Let's get this going out there so people know that we're streaming on Sunday. That's not a scheduled stream. It's just a bonus stream. Or you could not like the stream in the hopes that more people wouldn't come in here and you'd have a better chance of getting a takeover. But that would be mean.
Yeah, way to really plant the seed there.
Hey, like the stream. Do it for me, please. I'm giving away free takeovers. So I'm doing this for you. So you can hit the like button for me. That's what I'm thinking. Kevin Sykes, what's up, guys? Hey, Kevin. Good to see you. Burso. Jacob B says, I will be in every Tuesday stream until I can get a takeover. Well, I hope you get a takeover next year. No, it's like, if you're going to come watch every single one and then you're going to get your takeover and stop watching, like, I don't need to root for you then, do I? No, I'd be happy to take over your account. Jacob, you're always in our streams. That'd be fun. Crashdown says, here but not here, I'm watching football. That's fair. Knights of Honor says, if I win, can I make a gear cleanse request? You can. I have not done a gear cleanse takeover, but you can certainly request that. And we can do a gear cleanse takeover live. We could try that.
The ratio is pretty high for watching likes.
Hey, Lou.
25 watching, 25 likes. Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good ratio.
All right. Do we have Freaky Gamer going?
Well, he is here. We know that much. If he has not yet DM'd you.
I do not have a DM. I need a DM with the account information. That would be the email and the password. And if you have two-factor authentication, I'm going to need the code once I plug this in. Man, I don't know what's going on with my left eye right now. I think I got something in my eye. Give me just a sec here. There we go. All right, that's a little bit better. Still something, I don't know what it is. I was cooking, So maybe I got like a little paprika in my eye or something, which would sting, and it does kind of sting. Ooh, actually, I think I gotta excuse myself again. Oops. All right. Well, paprika in the eye is no fun. Hey, Freaky Gamer. Need some info from you, buddy.
Yep, I just sent him a message, see if you needed any help.
You got to DM me. So it's in the Discord. You have to DM me. How's our day going? Is going chaotically. We didn't get a video out today. Normally, we did get a video out yesterday or today. And that's not our typical situation, but there's been a
That's
lot
a first,
going.
actually.
Yeah, it's been chaotic. In fact, since we've started the channel, I don't think we've missed 2 days in a row. At least when I was on vacation and we started the channel, we did. We would do like every second or third day. But since I've gotten back, so since July, we haven't had 2 days in a row without a video. All you have to do for the takeovers is you have to go to the coaching corner, and there is a section called Wheel of Takeover. I'm sorry, there's, yeah, is that where it is? Or is it the other one?
No, that's the one.
Yeah, you go to Wheel of Takeover. All you have to do is react to Sun's message.
There you go.
All right, so now we've got the info. All right, so you can just go ahead and tell me what it is you're looking to do on your account. All right, just over 1 million silver. 1.1 million. The absolute bare minimum. Level 71 account. Level 71 account. We're going to see, let's check out the roster here. Oh, we have a mythic. We have Siegfried the Nephilim. You would say I help with either Iron Twins or Clan Boss. Okay. Well, because Clan Boss is so much more valuable, and I think a lot of people would like help with that, we can take a look at that. I'm noticing your 4 level 60 cold hearts. 3 of them in Relentless Gear? No, 2 of them in Relentless Gear and 2 of them in bolster sets. That's interesting. Okay. So yeah, just looking through the roster here. We do have a Seeker at level 60. That's always nice to see. Running a bit slow down here for a Seeker, but we can fix that maybe. We do have a Geo, a 5-star ascended, or not ascended, awakened Geo, 5-star blessing. More to Macabre. We've got a Siegfried. We've got a Morrigan. Let's see. We do have our Arbiter. We've got an Acrisia. Okay, wow. And we've got 2 mythics. We've got a Frolny and a Siegfried. This is interesting. So let's see. What 5 stars do we have here? You got a second Geo. Because why not, right? You got a 2 Hanorok. Nice. You've got a Uragrim. That's also nice. And a Doom Priest. Rector Drath. You do have a Painkeeper. And you do have a Frozen Banshee. Let's see. You do have a Demitha. Demitha's level 40. You got a Shamil, and you've got a Venom Mage. You've also got a Deacon Armstrong down here at level 9. You've got some fantastic champs you have yet to build. Wow, you've got a lot of champions. You got another Painkeeper down here. You've got a Fane. You've got a Woosgar, who's a very good champion. An Ethlin the Golden. Gorgrab. Man, you're stacked up when it comes to epics. You got a Skull Crusher. You got a Whisper. You got a Taragi the Frog. You got Royal Guard. You have tons and tons of high quality epics you have yet to build, which is okay. It takes a while to build all these champions. And you do have some very good legendaries. You've got Molly the Tankard and 2 Hanorok, I think, are, probably 2 of the highest. You have a Deacon.
He's got a 5-star Deacon somewhere as well.
Yeah, he's got a 5-star Deacon up here. So, yeah, okay. Apothecary at 5 stars. You do have a Sir Nicholas. Let's see who's booked. Got a few books in Artak. You got a book in Mother Sibel. I'm assuming Acrizia is booked. Acrizia is booked. Necrit is booked. Okay, so everybody from here to the left? No. All right, Rhonda's booked. Wukong is booked. And Siegfried and the Nephilim is getting booked. All right, let's see. That's a cleanse and a block debuffs. Yeah, I don't know how to speed tune one of these yet. I haven't tried that. We had somebody else who had Frolny here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the clan boss. So here you've got a 1-key brutal going. Are you in Nightmare at all? Have you tried Nightmare? Or have you not tried Nightmare? By the way, I was just thinking about your roster. And this skill is unkillable for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. there is a team. There's an Iron Twins team. I'm going to mention it. I've never built it before, but there is an Iron Twins team, which is a Geomancer, a Helicath, and 3 Painkeepers.
I think he's potentially accidentally messaging me, but he said Nightmare takes more than 1 key. So I think he's trying to get to a 1 key Nightmare.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so just quickly for Iron Twins, there is a team. Let me just really quickly do this. Let's get into Iron Twins. Looks like you might be building towards it. I don't know about working with, the mythics, but there is a team here that goes like this. It is let's see. So it's 3 Painkeepers. A Geomancer. And then you need a 2-turn block damage champion on a 4-turn cooldown. Now, it works better with Helicath because he's got a weaken and a counter attack. I think it works better with him anyway. That's what I've heard, but I'm not 100% sure. But you have a 4-turn cooldown, 2-turn block damage champion. So this could be the way to go. Now, I don't know if... The thing about the Helicath team, right, and the Geomancer team is Iron Twins gets more turns when you buff your team. So when you put buffs up, he gets turn meter fill, and then he hits you, but because he's hitting the Geomancer, he's reflecting the damage and killing himself. So you want buffs because that gives him more attacks, that does more damage with Geomancer, and then your block damage keeps you alive. Your Painkeepers, the whole purpose of the Painkeepers is just to get the block damage buff cooldown back around. That's it. So it's an unkillable Iron Twins team. Now, I'm not sure of the speed tune, but this is a tune that you can work on because you have that composition. So the damage would basically be coming from 2 champions, and the cooldowns come from everybody else. And it's supposed to be relatively quick. You can farm like stage 25 in like 3 minutes or something like that. So this is something that anybody can basically build if they have, Geomancer and a 2. Well, when I say anybody can build, you need these champions. But the requirements in terms of the support champions are pretty low. You just have to have 3 Painkeepers. They don't have to be built to 6 stars. They can be run at 40 or 50 or 60. They do have to be booked, I believe. You have to have the cooldowns fully done, but I'm not 100% sure on that. You can find videos on this out there. A lot of content creators have covered this one. I have not covered it yet because I haven't built it yet. Because I don't have a Geomancer. So I can't build to this composition. But that is just, anybody who's struggling and has a Geomancer, 3 Painkeepers, and a Helicath or a Roshguard the Tower or a Sir Nicholas, you've got that option. Okay. All right, so let's go back to the Clan Boss team. And so let's look at the Clan Boss team that you're running. Okay, so you're running a Krizia Geo. All right, so let's look at Noct here. Has a 100% chance of placing 2 poison debuffs for 2 turns. Places 2 additional poison debuffs for 2 turns whenever a sleep debuff is placed by the skill is removed or disappears after an enemy takes damage. So he's never going to land those extra poisons. Ally protections. Continuous heals. That's nice. Okay. It's got intimidating presence, which strengthens the aura of the team. Now I'm going to assume... No, okay, so this is not... So you're doing additional damage through bone armor stacks here. What's a Krizia got? Hero's Soul. And then you've got Geo, who's got Incinerate. Okay. So this is for Arena. You do have a second one that you're building up, but maybe, yeah, okay. Maybe this is just temporary. All right, so in looking at this, right? Actually, let me just look at the Nephilim. All right, so in looking at this, one of the things here is like you've got a lot of mythical gear, right? Like I'm noticing that you've got a lot of good gear on these champions that you have in this team, which is great. Let me check out the speeds. Speeds are okay. This speed is very low. So one of the things, like looking at Knock the Paralyzer, I would think about, and this is not a champion I run a lot, but if I'm thinking about poisons, any poisoner, I'm thinking about accuracy, not damage. Like I don't really care about ignoring damage because the poisons don't ignore damage. Now this is a defensive piece. This is attack percentage boost. So you don't need attack percentage on this guy. You need him to be tanky, survivable, and accurate. His accuracy is way low at 136. For Nightmare Clan Boss, I think you need an accuracy of something like 225. And for Ultra Nightmare, it's like 275 or 300. It's something like that. So you need more accuracy on him to make sure he's landing his poisons. You need more speed to make sure he's getting around to those poisons. And then you need more survivability to make sure that he doesn't die. So this is definitely a champion I would rebuild. Now, with only 1 million silver, I'm not going to start rebuilding too many champions. So right now, for the current team you have, without changing any champions, we're just going to talk about what you can do to improve your damage with the team that you've got. Or maybe if we can find a substitution for one of the champions, we'll do that. Now, Acrisia has got a better speed here. She's still not super fast, but she's better, and she's in Relentless, so she's going to get extra turns. Now, she's going to do her enemy max HP hits, which is phenomenal. That's going to hit really hard. She does have a little bit of sustain. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, Noct is also your ally protection. So potentially you want to put him in something like what would I put him in? I would probably put him in. Well, I'm not even seeing it. There it is. Sorry, Stalwart. I'd probably put him in something like Stalwart. If you can get him into Stalwart, that would be really good. If you can get him into anything that's going to increase his survivability, that's going to be good. Yeah, I think Acrisia is fine for now. Rhonda feels like, I know that she's probably hitting pretty hard. I mean, she has 4,700 attack. Her crit rate is really low. If you're building her to do damage, you want her to be doing 100. You want her at 100% crit rate. There are a bunch of different ways you can do that, but one of the things you could potentially do is get her into crit rate gauntlets if you needed to, or you could just look for more crit rate substats here. Attack percentage, yeah. So in this particular case, like what did we have here? We had, see these attack percentage boots? These would be better on Rhonda, right? You would push her attack percentage more, and you could get him into speed boots, and that would speed him up by 40 or 45, and that would be a lot better. Get her out of these boots, which aren't really doing much for her. I know there's attack percentage here, right? But you're looking for crit rate instead. You want crit rate, maybe speed, maybe crit damage in the substats. This attack quad roll here is like, it's nice, but it's on a horrible boot, right? You could even re-roll these boots, hope you roll into speed or attack percentage, and get a quad roll in something like crit rate. This is not a great boot. It's an unfortunate quad roll. She has accuracy on her chest piece. I would probably get her into, something else here. Again, attack percentage here. So this, if she's an arena nuker, I don't know where you're using her. Do you use her in arena? Is she your arena nuker? Or is she just like a PvE nuker? Because if she's an arena nuker, what you want is attack percentage here, crit damage here, get as much crit rate as you can, get to 100% crit rate, pump this crit damage. This attack doesn't actually have to be this high. Like, if you had 4,000, 4,500, that'd be okay. Let's just take a quick look. I want to just see your arena team. So you're in silver 3 here. Okay. Not a bad comp. Not a bad comp. You have your Arbiter. What I would probably do here is I would maybe do this. Maybe. It depends. Wukong and Kaimar aren't always set up together. This is a really good setup. You can CC everybody. You can also put Lady Kimmy in this spot. That's not bad. You also had a 6-star Seeker, I think, right? So that's not... Well, you already have the increased attack. You don't need the increased attack. So you need a drop defense champion. So here, you could do this. This would be good. Yeah, this would probably be a very nice team if you speed tuned it. You could also do... Let's see. Let me see Lady Kimmy for a second. Let me see your Lady Kimmy. Yeah, okay. So if you were doing this, you would probably want either a second turn meter fill or a decreased defense. So if you're looking for a second turn meter fill, you probably do this. And that's going to allow, these two hard-hitting champions to go next. Or if you speed tune them properly and you get them fast enough, you could go with something like this, which would give you a drop defense, wouldn't get you a second turn meter fill. If you're having trouble with that, you could go with this, 2 turn meter fills. Typically for a go first team, you're going to want 2 turn meter fills. You want an increased attack and a decreased defense. So here you've got 2 turn meter fills, increased attack on Arbiter, decreased defense on Stagnite into your 1 nuker. You only need 1 nuker. Remember, Stagnite's going to do a little bit of damage when he hits. Now, if you wanted a buff removal instead, then you could use this and you lose your drop defense, or you could do this and you lose your second turn meter fill, which is significant because that means you have to be a lot faster. But so you have other options here. But if you're building Rhonda, so it looks like Rhonda is in fact your arena nuker, and she's a very good arena nuker. She is booked out. She's going to hit very hard. She's got full masteries. So what I would do here is, you want to make sure she's speed tuned with whatever team you've got. That's why the 2 turn meter fills can be really nice. So let's look at Arbiter's speed. Arbiter here is running at 127. Arbiter needs to be running at 327. So this is why you're struggling here. So okay, so let's look for some speed boots. Look at those. Beautiful. Let's upgrade these. If we hit accuracy or resistance, it doesn't even matter what we hit. These boots are exactly what we need. All right. So let's quickly try those on. And then let's get anything with speed substats for Arbiter. Perfect. Good. Double roll into speed right there. Let's take that for now. Speed, resistance, and accuracy. We'll take that. And then let's look at these two. See if you have any divine. Maybe you have divine speed. You have a divine speed piece here. That's nice. Let's see if we roll into speed here. No. Okay. That's nice gauntlet for her. We could do that. Yeah, let's just do this. All right. Now, you can get another 16 speed out of this, which will get you up to 260. Let's take a look at your banner. What's she running? She's got 6 speed on it. Substats of speed, anything. Five-star accuracy wouldn't be bad. She doesn't need a ton of accuracy. She doesn't necessarily need a ton of resist either. So really anything that rolls into speed multiple times. So just look for a double roll of speed, see if we get one. There we go. All right, so you're at 251. Your boots will get you to 267. You got another potential. Let's roll this up to 12. Let's see if we can get another speed roll here. No. Okay. Got another one here. Let's try to roll that. Yeah, nice. All right. So you glyph everything out. You should be more at like 280. All right. Your Arbiter should be your fastest champion on your entire account. There should be nobody who runs faster than Arbiter. If anybody runs faster than Arbiter, the only reason I could ever think of a reason to run anybody faster than Arbiter is if you needed to get like a Demitha 3-to-1 unkillable ratio and she had to run at 315 and you just couldn't get enough speed gear to get your Arbiter and Demitha to that speed. I would still think, you prioritize clan boss over arena maybe, but I would still probably keep Arbiter at, 300 speed if I could get her there. This right now, all right. So part of the problem is I don't think we have the silver here to actually equip this. So let me see if I can do a quick gear cleanse. So let's do this. And what we're going to do here for the gear cleanse is we're just going to do a primary stat of flat stats. We're looking for flat stats on these 3 pieces. We don't typically ever want flat stats on these 3 pieces. Now I'm going to look for any rank and rarity of 1, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. Okay. Yeah, and I'm just going to start, like, these are all trash pieces. You don't need any of these, really. So we're just going to start getting rid of these. We just need a few 100,000. I'll leave your stone skin in your bolster. Regen. You're never going to want a flat boot on regen. And if it doesn't have a substat of speed, I'm throwing it out. Yeah, it doesn't have substats of speed, so okay. So I think that's enough. Whoops. Of course I did that. All right, let's try again. All right. So I think all we did is we used speed sets. All right, we used boots. Where are they? Oops. There they are. And then I think we use that one. Yep, that one's nice. Use that one double. And we use the chess piece, right? And then I think the other two we used were all the way down here in Righteous. And I think we used this one, yep, double, and this one with a single. That's, oh, we forgot the there you go. All right. All right, so now that you've got her running at 255, and again, once you get some silver, get her boots. This is top priority. Get her boots to 6 stars. Probably going to cost you $1.5 million silver. And then glyph her out. Get her speed up to, from 255. You should be able to get her speed up to above 280, maybe up to 290 when she's fully glyphed. Now, all of a sudden, this team that you're running in Arena, you know, this team, the whole team has gotten faster. Now you're winning the speed race. You're getting the 30% turn meter fill. But now here's the thing. In order to connect your team, you need the next champion and the next champion and the next champion to also be fast enough so that that 30% fill makes sure that they don't get disconnected. So I'll show you what I mean really quickly. Let's look at, let's say your next champion would be Haikatoon. Okay, so let's say you want to go, actually, let's see if you have, yeah. Let's see how fast Wukong is. Where's Wukong? Wukong's fast. No, all right, so everybody's super slow here. So what I would say is, this turn meter fill is a 30% turn meter fill. So whoever your second fastest champion is, they need to be within 30% of the spot that you land with your Arbiter in terms of speed. So I'm going to show you, let me see if I can make this work. Come on. Why is it not showing my calculator? Oh, I know why it's not showing my calculator. There we go. All right, so here's my calculator. So right now we are running Arbiter at 255, but let's say we were running her at 280. So what that would mean is 100% of whatever speed you're going, your second fastest champion, you add 30% to that, and you need to hit 280. Okay, because she's going to fill their turn meter by 30%, and so they're basically getting 30% of their speed as turn meter fill. So if they're running at 200, they're going to get 60 points of speed of turn meter fill. That's how that works. Okay, so all you need to do to figure out the number is you take 280 and you divide it by 1.3. Okay, so this would be the speed. They'd have to run at over 215, right? Because there's a fraction. So at 216, we're going to go to 216. So if we run the second champion at 216, and then we multiply that by 1.3, they need to pass 280. 280.8. Perfect. That means they're going to go next. Okay? So when she's at 280, you want to bring in your Haikatoon. She needs to be at what did we just say? It's 216, right? She needs to be at 216 or faster. Now, what's going to happen for the next champion is going to get 15% turn meter fill from Haikatoon. So that means they're going to get 30% from Arbiter and 15% from Haikatoon. So they're getting a 45% turn meter fill. Now, your third fastest champion should be Wukong, because Wukong's going to do the buff strip, right? If you're not using Wukong and you're using Stagnite instead for the decreased defense, you would want Stagnite going at whatever speed this is. So what we're going to say is we're going to take the 280, and now instead of dividing it by 1.3, we're going to divide it by 1.45, because we're getting a 45% turn meter fill. So that 1.45 represents that. And that means that we need to run our third champion at 194, right? 93.1 means 194. So again, if we go to do this, we say, okay, 194 times 1.45 should put us over the 280 mark. 281.3. Perfect. Now the third champion can't get disconnected. Now, this is also the speed, the 194, you have to run the fourth champion at, right? Because those two champions are not they're getting 45% turn meter fill. So you might want to run your Wukong at 195 and your Ronda at 194. So that would be 280, 216, 195, 194. And then you've got 2 turn meter fills, you've got the increase attack, you've got the buff strip, and you've got the nuke from Ronda. Now that's a really nice team that will help you push past where you are in Arena. Because you shouldn't be in Silver 3 with these champions. These are amazing champions. They're really good champions. And you've got a good roster of champions here. But unfortunately, you're running so slow that you're not getting the value out of those champions. Now, when you rebuild Ronda, remember, she's your arena nuker. You want either attack percentage boots here or speed boots if you need them to get to those speeds. You want attack percentage chest plate, and then you want either crit rate or crit damage gloves, depending. But you do need to get your crit rate to 100%, and then you want to push your crit damage as much as possible. So just very quickly, if I'm looking at your arena nuker and I was going to rebuild her, we don't have the silver to rebuild her, but I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how to do this. I would say, okay, let's look for a primary stat of attack on a boot, and we want a substat of crit rate. We're going to need the crit rate. Crit damage set is great. This is a great boot for that. You could certainly do perception. You could certainly do speed. This would be a very nice boot. It has speed as a substat as well, whereas the crit damage doesn't. So we could potentially do this boot here. All right, and now we want to start looking for, I'm going to take off boots. I'm going to look at gloves. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for crit damage gloves with crit rate substats. Again, we have one in the speed set. This is really nice. 5 stars is fine. You don't need 6 stars. This is also a great piece here, and it's already rolled into crit rate once. So I might say, let's go with that one for now. We'll go with the cruel piece, okay? Now I'm going to look at the chest piece next, and I'm going to want a primary attack percentage stat with a substat of crit rate. Now, are there any pieces here? There's an instinct piece. I could consider instinct. Instinct would not be bad, okay? So right now we're going to slot that one. And now we're going to look at the top 3 pieces, and we don't care what the primary stat is because they're all going to be, but we want the substats of crit rate. I'm going to look down here at the I want to look at the instinct set to see if there's no additional instinct. Okay, so I'm going to remove that then. So now I'm just looking for anything with crit rate. I'm actually going to put speed as well because I need to get up to a decent speed. So here we've got some cruel pieces. They are 4 stars. That's not awful. If you have the right substats, that's fine. If you can still get to 100%. Let's see about the speed pieces. These are not bad either. I could use either one of these. You have the crit damage there, so you could use that piece. Let's see. We have divine speed. This is a really nice piece right here. It's a 6-star legendary with flat attack. It's not attack percentage, but it's flat attack, speed, crit rate, and crit damage. So this is one of the best pieces I've seen on this. And this is really good too. Crit rate, crit damage, and speed. So we can do that. Probably going to pull these cruel gloves and go for the speed gloves that we saw instead. And then now we just need attack percentage with crit rate. So maybe these. And then we need see if we've got anything with speed on it. All right, so now with this build, you can see none of these pieces are rolled up, and you've already got 52% crit rate. Right? Now, you're not going to get any crit rate from any of your other accessories. So what you're hoping to do here is roll on, if we need 48% crit rate, you need roughly 9 substat rolls. So on 6 pieces, you have to average 1.5. Right? So you'd have to hit at least 1 roll pretty much on everybody and then hope for some doubles or even a triple roll on some. So we can just roll up, like if we get a first, right there, that's helping. Right? We're getting closer and closer. Now, this is another reason why 5-star pieces and 6-star pieces are so good, because they give you a better chance of getting high substat rolls. You can get 5s and 6s as opposed to like 3s and 4s that you would get from 4-star gear. But 5-star gear is enough. The HP on this champion doesn't matter. You're not really worried about defense. You're not really worried about attack stat all that much. You want the attack percentage here. If you could get this in a different set, like if you could get this chest piece in any kind of damaging set, that would be good. We have a broken set here, but this is 2 speed sets, divine speed and regular speed. With the extra speed here, rolls that you could get, you might be able to get this to that number. What we were looking at was like 192 or something that was on the calculator before. Or 193, 194. You might be able to get there. Again, if you're having trouble getting to the speed, look at your banner. Make sure that you're getting speed out of your banner. Here you're getting 4 and 4, which isn't bad, but you might be able to get, a speed banner, preferably an attack banner. Let's see if we can find a primary attack banner with a substat of speed. Yeah, so that's not great. So let's get rid of the primary. It doesn't have to be attack. So you could roll this one, see if you get a double there. Try to get, if you can get like 15 speed out of this, that would be helpful. This is going to push you towards that number. Now, if you can't get the number, if you can't get the speed number and that breaks the tune, it's not worth it. So in that case, it's better going for speed stat boots, right? Speed main stat boots. Then what you do is basically you hit your number. You're going to have a little bit less attack damage, but it's going to be okay because you're going to be connected. I have a much weaker team in terms of the champions on my team, and I'm living in gold 2 on my new account that's 75 days in, and it's entirely because I have a speed-tuned go-first team. And as long as you have a speed-tuned go-first team that's built properly, you should have no problem getting to... With Arbiter, you should have no problem getting to gold 5. It's going to take a while. I'm not saying no problem. You're going to have to still battle every day. Like, you're still going to have to pick your targets appropriately. You're still going to have to win the speed race a lot of the times. You're still going to have to build your champions the right way. But what I'm saying is you have the champions to get there. So, again, we don't have the silver to necessarily do this rebuild, but you can see that, it's more valuable. I don't care about this 4,700 attack. I can get down to 2,500 attack and still get into gold 4 or 5 with this build because I have the team around it that makes the most sense. Now, here's the thing. If you are using Rhonda as your arena nuker, you probably want to take her out of your clan boss team. We started with the idea of clan boss. That's how we landed here. You probably want to take her out of your clan boss team. Now, Noct the Paralyzer is a good poisoner. He's going to be able to do some stuff for you. He's also got an ally protection that's going to extend the life of your team. But you've got an unkillable champion. You've got Demitha, and you've got Seeker, and you've got Deacon Armstrong. You should be capable of getting an unkillable clan boss composition. So if we go back to clan boss and we take a look here, what I would say is, if we're looking for a team here, let's say we hold on to a Crizia. Let's say she's your big damage dealer. She's probably the only damage dealer you need. She's probably the one damage dealer you need. But you can also bring Geo. He's going to bring you HP burns and the damage reflect, right? Now what you need is the champions that are going to get you your unkillable. And so typically it's 3 champions. Sometimes it's 4 champions for an unkillable. If you need to decide between Geo and Acrisia, take Acrisia. Like, it's not even close. Take Acrisia. Drop Geo, and that's fine. If you put 4 champions around Acrisia that get you to an unkillable team composition, and you just speed tune them so that it works, Acrisia in 50 turns will 1-key Ultra Nightmare, no problem. You want to make sure it's affinity friendly, but it would be something along the lines of... Yeah, probably I would pull Geo, and it's going to be something like you'll have to go to the website and look a little bit for the speed tune. But where are we? Where's the Demitha? Did I pass the Demitha? I saw the Demitha before. She must be down below. Where is she? Where is she? Void. She's a void. Why is she? Okay. Let's do this by faction. There she is. Okay. All right, so it could be this. It could be something like that. In fact, it could be not that. In fact, I think this is a tune. It's going to be this. It's going to be this. But Deacon will be your lead. I'm pretty sure this is an exact tune. I think this is the Myth Air tune. So it would be these 5 champions. The tune is affinity friendly. It's full auto. You have Eris, who creates the block debuffs. I'm pretty sure it's fully affinity friendly, actually. But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not 100% sure. But I think she has the cleanse. And so this is going to be the comp. You're going to have to spend a few weeks getting there. Right? But that's a tune. That's a tune. You don't need all these legendaries. You don't need all these crazy, champs. You need Demitha. You need a tune to get her, to a 3-to-1 ratio where she's going 3 turns to every clan boss turn. So we have an increased speed here from Eris. We have a turn meter fill from Seeker. We have a turn meter fill from Deacon. We have a speed aura from Deacon. Demitha is probably going to have to run somewhere between 300 and 320, depending on the speed tune. I don't think Seeker has to run that fast. I think Seeker and Deacon run around like 180, 190, 200, somewhere around there. Eris might have to run pretty fast. I'm not sure exactly about her speed, but I'll actually I'll pull up the speed tune so you can see it. Let's see if I can find it real quickly. All right, so yeah, I got it. It's right here. All right, so this is the speed tune. In fact, I'll link it into chat right now so you can find it. And anybody can find it. Let me just link that into chat. Okay, so, whoops. So these speeds are not as bad as I thought they were. Let's see. Is this all affinity friendly? 1-key Ultra Nightmare. All affinities. Let's see. What does it say? You can use a ninja if you have it. Eris must not take the stun. Use a force DPS positioned ahead of Eris in the team order on Spirit. So it's not going to be fully affinity friendly with Acrisia. But if you have a force DPS champion that you want to bring in, instead of Acrisia in that one affinity, that would keep it affinity friendly. And the reason is because she'd be weak affinity, she'd take the stun, and she's supposed to cleanse the stun. If anybody else takes the stun, she can cleanse it. But so the way this works, if you look at the speed tune, is you can see that Eris will be the top. She's the purple bar. She's at the top of every turn. And so she is going on a 3-to-1 ratio, and she has a cleanse on a 3-turn cooldown. So every 3 turns, she can cleanse. And if she's the first champion of the turn, she'll cleanse anybody who has a debuff. That's going to allow you to be affinity friendly in spirit because she's going to remove the slows. And it's going to allow you to not have the tune break because of the stun. It doesn't matter who the stun target is, she will cleanse them, but she cannot be the stun target. That's the only thing about this tune, that she cannot be the stun target. So if you go back here and you're like, well, how does the clan boss choose his stun target? Well, the first thing he looks for is weak affinity. So Eris is, we can see here, Eris is force affinity. So the spirit, when the spirit boss is up, Eris is weak affinity. That means you need to pull a Chrysia and you need to put in a force affinity damage dealer instead. Now, let's see if you have somebody who's already tailor-made for the job. You know, honestly, that's not bad. That could work. Fenshi could totally work. I don't know about this champion. I don't know that champion. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know these champions either. So I don't see one that's popping out other than, I guess C's might be able to do it. C's could possibly do it. Firegun Isabel might be able to do it. I've never run her in that, but she might be able to do it. So you've got some epic options that wouldn't be too expensive to build out for that one affinity. But yeah,
saying Geomancer.
Is Geo force affinity? Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have a Geomancer. He doesn't live at the top of my brain.
Yeah, you know, not all of us can have Geomancer, but
no.
So for those that do, in the know.
So you build your Geomancer. Remember, the way to make him the stun target and not Eris the stun target is you put her last in the turn order. Okay, so make sure she's all the way at the back of the turn order. And if he's in front of her in the turn order and they're both weak affinity, he's more likely to take the stun. I don't know if in her build you can also give her the steadfast mastery. If you can, that'll be another reason why she wouldn't be targeted, and it'd be more likely that Geo would be targeted. So the steadfast mastery is this mastery in the support tree. This one, right? Steadfast. The clan boss avoids champions with steadfast mastery. Now, you have to have one with steadfast mastery and one who doesn't have steadfast mastery, and then it will choose the one who doesn't. If everybody has steadfast mastery, then it won't help. But so you could potentially, depending on how you have to build your Eris, you could give her a steadfast mastery and don't give Geo that mastery, and then, you know, he would take the stun, which she would then cleanse. Okay, so you've got two assignments. You've got a re-gearing assignment, right? We're trying to get that arena team motoring. And basically, you know what it looks like, right? We want those 2 turn meter fills. And you can either opt for the Wukong to have the buff strip, or you could opt for a decreased defense champion. I think you also have a War Maiden, but Stag Knight would be my option. Increase those speeds. You need to farm speed main stat boots, as many as you can get. Go to the Forge. Start getting, you know, resilience pieces, perception pieces, if you have any of the other pieces. Swift parry is good for some damage dealers. You also have lethal here is phenomenal if you ever get that's from Dark Fae. You know, you can also do instinct gear from the Forge Pass, so instinct gear. But you need speed boots. If you are struggling for speed boots, what you want to do, if you're really struggling for speed boots, what you want to do is come in here to campaign, go to Palace of Arabia, go to stage 6, and start farming stage 6. And if you can get even common boots with speed main stat, 5 stars or 6 stars, they would be 5 stars from Brutal, they would be 6 stars from Nightmare. Potentially, then get speed boots. Get speed boots. Start putting them on everybody. Doesn't matter. I mean, all of your champions are running too slowly. And speed boots is the main stat that you want. Like, it doesn't have to be in the speed set, by the way. Any of the other sets, if you get cruel, if you get, like we said, perception, if you get crit damage, if you're running dungeons, any of the sets that are valuable, whether it's a lifesteal set, if it's a stalwart set, any of those sets are great. Accuracy set, those sets are great. You want speed main stat on your boots. Okay. So those are your 2 assignments there. I think for your current clan boss team, if you're just talking about in the meantime while you're building this other team, how can you push the damage on this team? The first thing I would probably do is take out Rhonda, and I would bring in a champion that gives you more turn meter fill. So an apothecary could work really well. A Deacon Armstrong could work really well. And then potentially you can start thinking about, like, the nice thing about if you brought in a Deacon, you can actually bring him as your speed aura. So he's going to, where is he? He's 5-star, right? Maybe he's in the vault. No, there he is. So you could do something like this with, say, even like this. This would give you so much more turn meter fill and so much more speed that Acrizia would get so many more turns that she would just start doing crazy, much more damage. So like this team would work well. I'd also happily pull out Geomancer. You've got your ally protect here. You've got your hard-hitting champion. Maybe get another support in there. Like, actually, he might be a good support. I don't know how much healing he has. But if you had somebody who has like shields and heals, that could be really good. Yeah, nobody's jumping out at me right away. But, you could also maybe do Apothecary instead. He gives you a little bit more sustain. And then you could bring in, another champion who gives you some defenses. Islan, somebody like this. Like this team will go 10 more rounds than your previous team and will do 30% more hits than your previous team. So you're going to get just, that one Acrizia should be able to do all the damage that you need. And you're going to have a few poisons here. You're going to have some sustain. You're going to have that ally protect. And this will get you going. But all of these champions should be fast. Every single champion on this team should be running above 180. And your fastest champions should probably be running around 250 or higher. And so that's the goal for Clan Boss, for Arena, for Dungeons, for Iron Twins. All of those places you want to run fast. Speed is the universal multiplier. It's the thing that makes your team work. All right, you got any questions? I'm going to buy some mystery shards on your account. Even though you only have 70,000, you need 4 mystery shards. You have to have them. So basically just focus on speed. I got you. Yes, absolutely. Focus on speed. And that's literally true for your entire account. You will need more speed boots. You should have more boots. This is true for everybody. You should have more boots with speed main stat than you should have all other boots combined. Right? Attack percentage, HP percentage, defense percentage, flat, anything. Like, you should have more speed boots. You should have 5 times as many speed boots as you should have all of those other kinds of boots on your entire account. So 95% of your champions should be in speed main stat boots. Every once in a while, you'll have a champion that doesn't need to be in it, like your Arena Nuker, like we were talking about. You could put her in attack percentage boots, but you still need to reach your speed threshold. So, yeah, there we go. All right, so, yeah, thanks, Freaky. Thanks for letting me hang out on your team and spend your million silver. I got you all the way down to 67,000, but hopefully you can farm that back up soon. All right, son, let's do a refresh and see if we can get somebody else through here really quickly.
Yep. All right, everybody, so I'm going to reset the reactions on the wheel. If you are here, you are live. Once it is refreshed, go ahead and just re-react to the wheel, or to my message in this case. All right, it's cleared. Go ahead.
All right. I will be gone for 1 minute. Be right back.
Who's making the sad faces? Hoax DTE. What's with those faces? All right, it's the sun stream again. It's the quiet, dark background. How's everybody doing on this beautiful day?
All right, I'm back.
Holy crap, that was fast.
Did not.
He's not
I said
ready.
1 minute.
He took
I
it over.
1 minute.
Took it back. As quickly as he gave me power, he took it away again.
All right, so did we have a winner?
I'm just giving people a little bit to react, but we're about to do a draw here. I'm doing fantastic, Knights. Thanks for asking.
All right, we're about to do a drawing. Let me.
Hook says, "I know I'm not going to win. The conspiracy theory continues."
Yeah, just a quick reminder, right? Have your email address and your password ready. Preferably have at least 1 million silver, because then we could do a little bit of tweaking. But I would prefer like 10 million silver or 100 million silver. Yeah, but we need to be quick because I don't have a lot of time left. This was a bonus stream, and so this is going to be the last takeover for tonight. But hopefully we can help somebody out. Have we fixed it so it's only clanmates this time, son?
Oh, shoot. I should have done that before I spun the wheel. Speaking of the person asking who is not in our clans, Sabik won.
Sabik?
I knew I should have hit that switch. Goodness.
Wait. Sabik won?
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. So Sabik, just jump into the coach's corner. You're going to get a little change to your status there so you could get in there. Start sending me your account information. And then as soon as I have that, you can just DM me what you want to take a look at on your account. Bobby says, I would love to own Geo. I got him in the first 3 months and had no idea what I was doing or how hard it was to get specific pulls, and I used him as food. Yes, I am an idiot. You know what? You're not. You were a noob. That's a noob mistake, right? That's not necessarily an idiot mistake. But yeah, it's unfortunate. That happens. I hear that story a lot where somebody got a champion. They got a seer, or they got, a Deacon Armstrong, or they got a Geomancer, or sometimes, it's I mean, people feed champions all the time. I've heard that people have fed legendary champions, and then those legendary champions have been buffed, and they don't have them. And sometimes it's a champion that you can't get from a shard. There are those champions out there that you can only get through certain reward means, and then people have fed those. So I mean, there were people who fed Ninja back in the day. Ninja's phenomenal.
Wait, people fed Ninja? That's rough.
Yeah. Ninja was a bit of a controversial champion, actually. He was controversial because some people didn't like the streamer, like Ninja, the guy. I don't know that much about him. I mean, I know his name and I know he exists, but I've never watched his stream. But I guess some people had a bit of a pushback against him personally, and so they kind of refused to use his champion. And then there was a debate about whether or not the champion was going to be any good. And some people thought it wasn't a good champion. And it took like a month, and then people were like, oh no, he's really, really good. And now, one of the big complaints is that there's no other way to get him. There's no replacement for him. So, I mean, Chronom is a little bit of a replacement for him. So if you can get the Chronum reward champion, that's great. But otherwise, you're kind of out of luck. All right, I'm getting some DMs here. I think I'm getting DM. Am I getting DM? There we go. Yes. All right. Let me I actually think I have to delete some accounts here because I haven't been doing that. No, I still have one more. Okay. No, I don't. I have to delete. Okay. Nope. Okay, now I can add an account. All right, here we go. All right, so what is it that you're looking for help with? Congratulations, claim your reward for completing this part of your progress missions. You're holding on to Arbiter, huh? You're waiting until the CVC to claim your Arbiter? You know how hard that is for me to resist that particular red dot, right? I won't pull it, but I want to. All right, let's take a look. We are level 60 account. Okay, so here, this is a good question. This is good. Somebody who's come into the takeover with a very specific question here. So he says, I had a plan for a clan boss team with Razin, Sepulchre Sentinel, Godseeker, Hatatsu, and Skullcrusher. It's pretty much done with just gearing to go, but I pulled a second Warcaster. Would you focus on what's built or go for the Unkillable? Or do you potentially see a better option in general? Okay, so let's take a look at the champions. See if there are anything in the vault that's... Okay, so we got the Skullcrusher, right? Okay. So your team was Razin, which is going to be a weaken and a decreased defense. Sepulchre Sentinel, who is a ally protector. Oh, no. Sepulchre Sentinel has the increased defense, right? And the block debuffs. Who was I thinking of?
Is this because I have Sepulchre and
No,
we're
I think
about all my different tanks?
I think I was thinking of Sandlashed Survivor. But she has it on, it's conditional, I think. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was just confusing her. Okay, so you have Hatatsu, who has the decreased attack, the leech, the increased defense, continuous heals, and he can potentially remove stuns from himself, which is really nice. That's a nice combo because you're going to have increased defense up 100% of the time. And you've got sustain there with the leech, and the decreased attack is going to extend your life, the increased defense, and the continuous heals. So these two are your tanks. You have Razin for the A2, which is a decreased defense and weaken. It's going to be on a 3-turn cooldown when you book it out. It's up for 2 turns, but yeah, okay. And then let's see. The Godseeker. It's the Godseeker who's going to extend the debuffs, right? Does Godseeker extend debuffs or does she extend buffs? I forget. Maybe she extends buffs. Where's your Godseeker? Oh, there she is. Decreased duration of all buffs on all enemies and increased duration of all buffs. She increases duration of buffs, right? So between amongst the three of these, with the three of these, you're going to have 100% uptime on increase defense, and you're going to have tons of continuous heals going, and you're going to get heals from her as well. And then who is your fifth champion? Skull Crusher. Now, Skull Crusher gives you the counterattack and the ally protect. So the ally protect here is 2 turns on 3 turn cooldown. So Godseeker keeps this up 100% of the time. So you have increased defense up 100% of the time. You have your ally protect up 100% of the time. You're going to have all those heals. You're going to have the counterattack. Plus, he's going to have the Unkillable. The Unkillable will not be up 100% of the time, but he doesn't need it up 100% of the time. Yeah, that's an interesting build. The one downside of this composition is, one, you don't have any dedicated damage dealers, right? Like you're primarily focused on getting damage through your mastery procs, your Giant Slayers and your War Masters. And then you're getting counterattacks to get more of those, which is good. Let's see what your current clan boss team is. All right. So here you're doing, it looks like you've got 3 keys into Ultra Nightmare. And this is your current team. You've got poisons, poison explosions. Poison explosions don't work on the boss, so she's just a poisoner. She's a second poisoner, I'm assuming. You have to turn off her poison explosions or you lose damage. And yeah, this Grizzled Jarl is increased defense, block debuffs, decrease attack. Yeah, so she's got poisons and an HP burn, you're right. But you turn off the A3 because this just wastes poisons. It's tuned so an area extends the block debuffs for the stun. Gotcha. Now, Theodore the Savant is one of the few champions in the game who has poisons. There are only 2 champions who do this. So he has a poison sensitivity, poisons, and an activation. And an extension. So, where's his activation? Instantly activates poisons. Yeah, so he increases the duration of all poison debuffs and HP burns, and then he instantly activates them. So, unfortunately, his A1 doesn't really work well with a counterattack. But he's a great clan boss damage dealer. So you've pulled 2 Warcasters, you said, right? Let's actually do a search here. So Warcaster is Void, Epic. And here you go. Here are your 2 Warcasters. Let's actually reset this. So let's look for Unkillable. And let's look for block damage. Which one is the block damage again? It's this one, right? Yeah. You got a Raf Matab. Okay, I thought for a second he was the other guy who had the new Unkillable guy. But okay. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look, because I don't know how to advise you here for sure. It feels to me like Unkillable, a double Warcaster Unkillable could be the way to go. I don't know how fast it is, and I don't know how much damage it runs because I've never done it before, but I know that they're possible. If you could get the counterattack with somebody who had a poison on the A1 or something, that might be worth it. It might be tricky to find, depending on, like, if you're trying to get a block debuffs buff out there. That might be hard. I noticed that you have a Frozen Banshee here, but she could work really well with a counterattack, but I don't know if you can do a counterattack with a double Warcaster. So I'm going to just take a quick look at the double Warcaster. In fact, I know that it's called double Warcaster, I believe. And there are a couple of different versions of it, so we're going to look at both versions. All right, so this is the initial double Warcaster. And yeah, I thought I remembered this. So the stun champion, I think the stun champion is Skull Crusher. I think you can put Skull Crusher there. Now this is the other tune. And you want a 2-turn block debuffs in one of these spots, like Sepulcher. So you could potentially do this where you have a fast Warcaster, a slow Warcaster, a Skull Crusher in this third spot here. You have Sepulcher Sentinel in the fourth spot at the 218, 219, and then you have a 1-1 ratio DPS. You wouldn't need the block debuffs in both spots, so you do one or the other. It might be better to run if you can run your DPS here, but then you would have to run a 2-turn block debuffs on a 3-turn cooldown. You may not have that. What about this one? Here you would want the 211 DPS to be... So in this case, you could run... Well, it's still the same thing. You're still running a cleanser or a block debuffs. You can bring in Doom Priest at 189 instead of 211 to be affinity friendly with Skull Crusher. Not checked with Bushy. Okay, so that's interesting. Do you have it? Do you have a Doom Priest? Let's check your Doom. See if you have your Doom Priest. You do have a Doom Priest. So your Doom Priest isn't built, so that would be a way to go, right? Now, I notice that you have a Whisper here. So you have some options here with the double Warcaster Unkillable. Now, my feeling is that the double Warcaster... Yeah, and I'm looking at them. I'm just looking at them right now. My feeling is that they're going to be 2-key Ultra Nightmare. They're not going to be 1 keys. Because you basically have 1 DPS, right? You have a Cleanser, you have 2 Warcasters, you have your Skull Crusher, your stun target, whatever, who's giving you counterattacks, and then you have 1 DPS. So the only way to make that 1 DPS work really, really well would be if maybe it was like a poison activation on your A1. Like if you had Dark Kale. Do you have Dark Kale? I don't know if you've gotten that far. You probably haven't gotten that far in the game. Never mind. You're level 60. You wouldn't have Dark Kale. I'm trying to think of anybody else. Like maybe Venom Mage. But probably Frozen Banshee would actually be the best. You wouldn't worry about activation. You just go for poisons on your A1. She's got the counterattack. You just get as many poisons out there as possible. You're not going to have to worry about the debuff bar because nobody else is bringing any debuffs. I mean, your Warcasters, that's the one other downside of this, is your Warcasters are bringing no debuffs, really. They bring block damage, and then they bring a block buffs debuff for the enemy. Skull Crusher. What's Skull Crusher bringing? Is he bringing any debuffs? Oh, you have your Skull Crusher already built. Okay, heal reduction, ally protection count. Yeah, he's not bringing any debuffs. And so if you bring in Doom Priest, all you're getting is the increased attack there. You're not getting any debuffs. So you don't have a decreased defense. You don't have a weaken. You do have a poison sensitivity if you're bringing Frozen Banshee. All right, let's look at your team again. All right, so right now, you're doing about 16, 17 million per key. That Warcaster would crush that. That double Warcaster would crush 17 million a key, I think. I think it would do like 40 million a key. So I think you could get to a 2-key Ultra Nightmare. I think you could get a 1-key Nightmare. I think you could get a 2-key Ultra Nightmare. And I think it could potentially be a very good team. Now, the team that you were talking about building, not this team that you have up here, but the team with Hatatsu and Razin and all of that, the difficulty there is that you don't have a dedicated damage dealer. I'm not sure what that damage will look like. If you're trying to extend it beyond 50 turns, if that's the goal, just get as many turns as you can, get 70, 80, 100 turns. Potentially, you're going to do a lot less damage per turn, but you might be able to get there. You might be able to get there. And since you're really close, if it doesn't take a lot of investment to try it out, it might be worth trying out. But it's really hard to say. I don't know for sure. I think that the double Warcaster build can be nice, but here's another thing that can happen. Let's go back to the website. So let's say you built this double Warcaster, and then let's just go to Warcaster Speed Tunes. Oh, it's not actually here, right? All right, let's filter it. We want a Warcaster. So there are other tunes that use Warcaster as a secondary block damage champion. So like you can do this one with Demitha. And this one would actually let you bring in 2 DPS. Right? So when you have Demitha, she covers 2 of the rounds. Warcaster has to cover every other round. Like if they're 2 Warcasters, they have to keep switching back and forth. She also brings a little bit more in terms of like her overall kit. But, so you could potentially do a tune like this. And your Warcaster here is running at 255. Your Warcaster here is running at 249. So you could probably just glyph him from the 249 to the 255 or 256, whatever he has to run it. Like you might be able to just do that with a banner swap. So you could build that original tune and then eventually rebuild for something else. Or you might even find a speed tune that's maybe a little bit closer to what you've got. Maybe one of these. So if you pulled your man-eater, this is weird. Yeah, that says Warcaster and it's showing Roshguard the tower. But Roshguard the tower would work in place of Warcaster. But here you could run Warcaster, and this is at the exact same speed. So this is another tune that you could do if you got a 2-turn block damage champion. And then, you can potentially get more DPS that way. I like the Unkillable. I've never run the double Warcaster. If I was on my Lobby account and I pulled the double Warcaster, I would probably start building it, especially if I didn't have at least a 3-key Ultra Nightmare team. And you don't. You have a 5-key Ultra Nightmare team. So if you're close to completing your build, if you're close to completing the build and you want to try it out, you can certainly try it out. Now, there's another option here, which we haven't really mentioned, which is that you could just find, another tune that could get more value out of Theodore, because this guy is a beast, and he's a great clan boss damage dealer. So potentially, you could tweak the speed tune you've got, or not the speed tune. You could tweak the clan boss team you've got going on to just, get him more value. And if you think about this, like maybe what are we missing here? It's like maybe running This looks like the speed. This is the tune you were going for, huh? That was the team that you're going for. Yeah, it looks like you've tried a few different things. But maybe in this case, running Grizzled Jarl and Godseeker and Neri are like, maybe that's too much, right? Too much invested in blocking the stun. Because Grizzled Jarl's block debuffs is there. He does have an increased defense. But yeah, maybe that's too much invested in the stun, and you'd be better off with just a cleanser. Right? You can speed tune a Doom Priest who's going to give you an increased attack and a cleanse and make you affinity friendly. And it may just be easier to do that. And then you could potentially, go a different route. I don't know. I love Doom Priest in Clan Boss. I think she's the simplest champion of all champions, I think, to make a team fully affinity friendly, because she can handle the Spirit Affinity and she can handle the stun. And you don't have to worry about her being stunned, right? With Eris is another really easy champion to do it. But you have, like we just saw, you have to have that second champion to pull the stun away from Eris when Eris is weak affinity. It does not matter if Doom Priest is weak affinity. You can just plug her in, and if she gets stunned, she doesn't care, but because her cleanse is on her passive, she doesn't need to actively be doing anything to cleanse. So, you could go that route and then bring in somebody who's going to give you more debuffs, like a weaken, decreased defense, or potentially give you more survivability from, an ally protect or something like that. You might even want to, I'm looking at Anax here. You could go with the Skull Crusher. You could go with the counterattack. I like this composition. I like the idea of this composition. It's slow, and it doesn't have a damage dealer. And that makes me think it's a lot of investment for a team that might not significantly improve your damage. Whereas I know for certain that the double Warcaster will improve your damage. If you tune it right, we know you can get a 2K Ultra Nightmare. And I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't particularly hard to get a 2K Ultra Nightmare. Like, you're not going to just squeak out 36 million. Do you know what I mean? You're going to get 40, 42, 45 million on a key. Maybe when you're weak affinity, when you're, like, if you're using Frozen Banshee, maybe your damage dealer will have more trouble when she's weak affinity, or whoever it is weak affinity. But the rest of the time, you're going to cruise. Yeah. Do you have any questions? There are tunes with Arbiter, by the way, and she brings a weaken on her A1 and a nice fat turn meter fill. So that's another thought. You could find a tune with an Arbiter. You know what? I'm going to do one more thing before we go. Let me do this. I'm going to open up my Hell Hades artifact extractor, my optimizer, and we're going to take a look at this. Yeah, so that all makes sense, though I think instead of losing an option, I've gained another. I do think so. I personally want to build for my main account. I want to build an infinity composition. I want to build a killable clan boss composition that can go like 150 turns and do 200 million damage. That's just a goal I've set for myself. So I like the idea of your composition, like the one with the Razin and all of that, because it's like, all right, get that ally protect, get that increased defense, get those continuous heals, get the leech, and just go as long as you can go, but with no damage dealer, with no dedicated damage dealer, and not knowing how long that team is actually going to go, and not like you're at level 60. Your gear isn't god tier gear. Do you know what I mean? So the chances of it going 50 rounds is low. I've never been able to get a team to go 50 rounds or longer without god tier gear. I've done it a couple of times. I had one killable composition that could go about 60 turns, and it had a lot on it. I mean, and the gear was really crazy, and the powerful champions. So I don't know how that would work. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull up the optimizer, and we're going to see if the optimizer gives us anything that we haven't thought about, or maybe can tell us how much damage one of the compositions can do. All right, so let's go here to the team optimizer. Ultra Nightmare, find a team. All right, so you're looking at 30 million a key here. Now, this is a little bit of a weird team, right? Because it's got that double counterattack. But this is not too far off of what you were thinking, right? It's sort of an in-between place here. But let's see if we can find it on a different affinity. Let's see if it looks different on a different affinity. That's 30 million a key. That's 30 million a key. That's only 20. Here's the double Warcaster with the Frozen Banshee. And this is only doing 22 million a key against Spirit, though. Right? And Spirit is the one that we said was going to mess us up because, well, actually, no. Yeah. You have to stay tuned there. I'm not sure if this is going to be staying tuned. And again, it might just not have it might not have the gear yet. You've got a double Warcaster down here, double Warcaster here. Let's see if there's a double Warcaster anywhere else. Let's see if we can use must include Warcaster. So 25 million, 24.5 million here with this team. I actually like this team a little bit better. But Annex does bring a weaken and a decreased attack, I think, right? What does Annex bring? A weaken. Decreased defense on the A1, weaken. Decrease accuracy and poisons. So yeah, I mean, you know, you have these champions already, so you could consider it. I feel like this damage total, this 25 million, is not like you could double that. I feel like you could double that with this team with the right gear. But maybe the double Warcaster just doesn't go fast enough. Maybe it just doesn't go fast enough. And since you're already close, maybe just build your, maybe just build your team out here. We're looking at 31 million, So pull that Valkyrie. I know you have Valkyrie, by the way, but I don't know that you need to counterattack champions. But you pull that Valkyrie, put in Godseeker and Neri, and you have this team running. And I think you could potentially get your 40 million off of that team too. So. One of the things about building a clan boss team that can be a little bit tricky is when you're doing it, like, why are you doing it? And what I mean by that is you are clearly in a place where you want Ultra Nightmare. Right? What are you doing? Actually, you're doing a little bit more. You're doing 18.5 million here. So you're doing a little bit more than I thought you were. I thought you were doing about 15, but you're doing 18.5 million here. So, or 18 million. 18.5, yeah. So it's like you clearly want Ultra Nightmare, but a really good place to be is an Ultra Nightmare 3 key and a Nightmare 1 key, right? So can you 1 key Nightmare? Do you 1 key Nightmare? You say you 4 key the top chest sometimes on Ultra Nightmare, but it's inconsistent. But if you do you 1 key Nightmare? No, you don't 1 key Nightmare. Okay. So what I would say is the next goal really is to say, when you're building a team right now. So it's like, okay, I'm building a team right now and I want to push Ultra Nightmare, and I don't have a clear top choice. I don't have one option. I have 3 or 4 or 5 options that might get me a little bit of an improvement. Maybe I can get to a 4 key Ultra Nightmare. Maybe I could eke out a 3 key Ultra Nightmare. So what I would say is one of the things that you want to do is you want like an ease of operation as well. if you can 3-key Ultra Nightmare and 1-key Nightmare by improving your team, or even if you can't, like even if you can just get to a 1-key Nightmare, like if that's all you do, but you can do it on all 4 affinities and you can do it full auto. So you can just come in every day, click the quick battle, and save yourself 10, 20, 30 minutes of wait time. That can be value gained as well. So, when I'm looking at the team here and I'm saying, okay, I've got this team, like maybe I can just tweak this team a little bit to get closer. Maybe, if you've already got the Razin built, maybe you do this. Maybe the weaken and the decreased defense is enough. Or maybe, like we said, maybe you've got too many supports here and you do something like, like that. Maybe that's enough with the counterattacks. Or maybe you go back to this. You get those poison activations anyway, so who cares if you fill up the debuff bar? Right? Now you've got your weaken, you've got your poisons, you got 2 different affinity poisoners, so you're not going to be as susceptible to weak affinities. This is not an unkillable team. It's not an infinity team. It's just a team that might get you there. Or maybe if you're like, you know what? Godseeker doesn't work without Jarl, you might do this or you might do this, and go that way. Or you might do this, go that way, do the double poisoner with the ally protect route, in the extension. Or this, bring in just that extra poisoner. Maybe that's the one change you need. But look for little ways to so one of the things that I do is I look for little ways to get an extra debuff or extra buff out there. Right? So we have a buff extender, but can we have a buff extender with a weaken? Or, we have a poisoner. Can we have a poisoner with a decrease attack? Or, whatever that happens to be. Can I get, here we have turn meter fill and a speed buff, but she's not bringing anything else. So can we get her out of there and bring somebody else in who brings me more? Maybe we have something like this. Same speed aura, I lose turn meter fill and a little bit, but I get a lot of extra poisons. Or maybe here I can get, heals with my turn meter fill. Or maybe I can go and say, who else is here that might be, turn meter fill and increase attack. So can I get one more buff out there? Can I get one more debuff out there and be close, So sometimes when you're in this situation, you're not looking for a full rebuild. You're looking for a tweak. Yeah. I don't know. I like Elenarl. I do like Elenarl. I think that, the HP burns could be... So you could go this way, keep Elenarl in. I don't know that she brings enough on her own. I actually do think that Frozen Banshee is a better poisoner than Elenarl. And I think trading out the HP burn for more poisons is fine. I think this is actually going to do more damage than Elenarl would. So I think if you have, Theodore, and I think this would be an improvement in damage over Elenarl. She's fun. She's great. I wish she were stronger. I wish the poison explosion worked on the clan boss, but it doesn't. So. Yeah, I really wish she had a deacon. Yeah, you don't have a seeker either, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this, I think you're right to lead with High Katoon because you want speed, and she gives you the best all-around speed champion it looks like you have on your roster. But, I'm always looking for a little bit extra. So, yeah, you might just be stuck in one of those places where it's like you can try things. Keep working, keep experimenting. See if one of these combinations unlocks it for you. But I wouldn't shy away from the double Warcaster. I would consider the double Warcaster. Yeah, you pulled TO really early. You didn't want to restart for the Deacon code. That's fine. That's fine. That makes sense. Like, you didn't know about it. Not a lot of people do, you know. It's one of those things where it's like, if you're redoing an account, like if you're starting a new account and you know that you can get Deacon, you do. But a lot of new players have no idea that he's a champion. They don't know, you know, they don't know any of the champions. So they just go with what they get. And you pulled a TO, who's a great champion, by the way. So yeah, I wouldn't have restarted my account either. But anyway, is there anything else you want me to take a look at before I jump off? Because I feel like I didn't do a whole lot for you. Can I throw a build on Valk? Sure, we can take a look at Valk. All right. You think you have a barrel? Do you have her booked? You don't have masteries on her. No, I would level her up in like what I would do is I would just throw her in Minotaur and level her that way. And by the time she's 60s, yeah, you're already doing that. Then you're gonna have most of her, you know, mostly leveled up. By the way, unless everybody here needs books, or I'm sorry, unless everybody here needs scrolls, pull some of these champions out. Like, you should be able to run this with, like, instead of this, run even that. Like, this would be better, you know, unless he needs scrolls. If everybody here needs scrolls, then fine. But if one of these champions doesn't need scrolls, you don't, you know, because you'll get more XP rather than splitting it 5 ways by splitting it 4 ways or 3 ways. So if you can run this, just run that. If Artak can solo the thing, do it that way. You'll get more scrolls onto your champions that you want, like, faster, or you'll split the XP fewer ways, and that'll be valuable for you. But let's take a look at Valk and see if we can get a build on Valk. I love Valkyrie. She's a fantastic champion. Quick review of her skills. So her A1 does decrease turn meter on each hit if the target has any buffs. This can be a really valuable skill, so you may want accuracy on her because it does require accuracy. Now, her A2s and AoE can hit really hard. It's based on her defense. You can pump her defense really high. This also places a shield and a counterattack on all allies for 2 turns. The shield is actually for 3 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, which is really nice. And this shield can be really huge because it's defense-based. And then her passive is this champion's turn meter will be increased by 10% each time an enemy champion places a buff. Enemy champions will have their turn meters decreased by 10% for each buff they receive. So the turn meter increase just happens, but the more speed you have, the more that turn meter gets filled. And then the turn meter decrease requires accuracy. So if you want her with accuracy on the A1 and the A3, that makes sense. You want a ton of defense. You want good speed. Yeah, that's basically it. So let's go ahead and let's start looking at a build for her. So what I'm going to do when I'm building a tank like this, I'm actually going to start with the chest piece and the gauntlet, and I'm going to look for 2 defensive percentage pieces in the same set, maybe, but they don't have to be. I want them in sets that, you know, make sense. Immortal set could be cool. Divine Light could be fine. Divine Speed could be fine. Perception could be good. Probably not in a bolster set. She has her own shield that's up 100% of the time. Relentless, probably not. Regen, maybe. Frost, probably not. Accuracy could be good. That's a nice chess piece that you got right there. 16 triple speed roll, attack percent, crit rate percent. So this is a little bit of a weird piece, right? Because it's like a damagey piece, but it rolled all into speed on an accuracy set. So it's like all disjointed. It actually works pretty well for her. Let's look at these pieces here. So I might take both of these pieces. This HP percentage is actually really nice on her. Also the extra accuracy, so that's not a bad piece. Now let's go ahead and look at some boots for her. All right. 6-star speed boots. Accuracy with a double roll here and some resistance. Resistance can also be nice on her. So those could be what we want to go with. We've got another accuracy boot here. We've got that regen still sitting around. Retaliation can be nice on her. That's not a bad boot. Stalwart can be very nice on her. Immortal. Resilience. These are all good sets. This can be really nice. You could put her in a Guardian set for sure. It's got accuracy and speed on it. Let's see if you've got enough Guardian gear to make this worthwhile. This would be really interesting with her in a Guardian set. Speed, accuracy, HP, and attack percentage. That's not too bad. Helmet. You have one helmet there. It's got speed and accuracy, which is good. And then you've got resistance, accuracy, and HP here, or speed, defense percentage, HP, crit rate. So it would probably look like this. Now, one of the things that's a little bit tricky about her stats, we got to remember, is she's only level 11. So we're not going to see her full stats here. Now, the thing about a Guardian set is, so with a Guardian set, remember that it heals based on HP. So you want a big HP pool, and we're building her with defense because that makes more sense with her shields. If she's going to have 100% uptime on the shields, do we care about the regen as much? No, we really care about the wearer absorbing 10% of all the damage dealt to allied champions. That will actually protect the shield on the squishier champions, because shield damage gets mitigated just like regular HP gets mitigated. So on a tankier champion, it's harder to remove a shield. So she's going to be behind a shield. She's going to be really tanky. She can pull everybody else's damage to her. This would actually be pretty interesting. So we could potentially do this. Let's see what we can do. We've got some silver here. Let's go ahead. If we roll into accuracy here, that'd be nice. Double roll into accuracy. That's beautiful. Resistance, great. Maybe defense percentage? That's 1.7 million. That's a little bit tricky. Now, you can farm these pieces right now. So if you keep farming... Speed. No, attack percentage. That's an unfortunate roll there. Still has that 20 accuracy on it. Don't roll me attack. Don't roll me attack. At least spread it out a little bit. All right, that's okay. I don't mind that. So you can keep getting more of these pieces. I need speed or defense percentage. Nah. I don't know. This is close. We didn't roll quite right here. We didn't roll quite right. Let's see. What about this? We could go fortitude. Protection is interesting on her because you can actually protect. You could protect the counterattack or the shield buff. We had a lot of options here. Would you farm the top bird in normal Doom Tower or the first one in a hard for Guardian gear? It's a good question. I actually don't know. I don't know what the drop rate difference is between the top of Doom Tower normal and the bottom of Doom Tower hard. I'd probably experiment. That's a really good question, and I wish I knew the answer to it. Yeah, so it looks like the other way to go would be like this double accuracy speed boot. Let's just try the other way and see how this works. And then we're going to go like this, and we want anything with, let's see if we can land some speed and accuracy. With a double roll into defense percentage and resistance. This is a beautiful piece. Am I blocking? I'm blocking all the stats. Of course I'm blocking all the stats. Sorry, guys. All right, so we've got this piece right here that I'm looking at. This is a beautiful piece. The crit damage roll is an unfortunate throwaway, but resistance and accuracy... Actually, no, I'm sorry. This was the piece. That's not what I was looking at. I was looking at this one. Speed, resistance, accuracy, double roll into defense percentage. That is perfect for Valkyrie. And then let's see what else we have. Speed, accuracy, and HP. Speed, accuracy, and HP. Those are both good. We could go with a... This is not bad. We could go with a retaliation piece, too. We could also go with a mortal. Resilience is a good piece. Or a good set, rather. Perception can be really good if we want that accuracy up a little bit higher. Accuracy, speed, and defense. Let's try that one. Defense roll is fine. Another defense roll. Oh, wait. Didn't I already do this one? Nah. I already did the shield. Sorry. I need to take the shields off. Righteous. Oh, there you go. Speed, crit rate, accuracy, attack. We don't really care about crit rate on her. Speed, accuracy, defense percentage. Let's roll this one up. These are the 3 stats we want. The other stat we would want is HP, and the set gives us HP. Nice. Double roll there. And then maybe take this one up to 12. Accuracy there. Okay, and then let's look at Revenge Ring is great on her. It is defense ring with defense percentage and HP, flat HP. As long as we don't roll too many times into attack here. You got, every time. But yeah, I might just take that because when she counterattacks, she has that chance of reducing turn meter. Of course, she's going to have the counterattack up. She doesn't necessarily need an extra counterattack, does she? So maybe we go with this one, HP defense. That's good. Let's do that. We just want accuracy and resistance with defense. This is really nice. And then we need a banner. Preferably either a resist or accuracy banner. But we could go with defense. Anything with speed? We got resistance with speed, and we've got defense with speed. We got this resistance with speed. That's speed and attack. This is speed, defense, and defense. So probably just take this one. Get a roll into speed. No, defense. Yeah. Let's run these boots up. Another accuracy roll. Let's take them all the way. $222 speed, 3.2k defense, 24,000 HP, 218 accuracy. yeah, you're gonna have this 3% heal, so a little bit of sustain there. The shields, that's nice. That feels good. Yeah, that looks good. So again, you're going to be able to get some more resistance here, or if you wanted an accuracy banner, if you feel like the resist isn't enough, because you're only at 148 resistance, so you could say, swap out for a defense banner or an accuracy banner, but you'd want one with speed, and it doesn't look like you have an accuracy banner with speed right now. So you could go with this defense. You could go with this defense. You don't need the blood shield. But right now, I'd probably stick with the resistance. Unfortunately, you didn't roll speed. You glyph this out, you're going to get her to 240 speed probably. You're going to get closer to 30,000 HP. Obviously, this isn't leveled out. She's at level 11. So when you have her maxed out, my guess would be you're going to be over 4K defense, and you're probably going to be around 40,000 HP. And that's a really nice place to be. You don't need 60,000 HP on a Valkyrie. What you want is as much defense as possible. If you can get her to 5K or 5.5 or 6K, that's where you want to go with this. So that's why you have defense on both of these pieces. You've got this HP percentage with the triple roll, so you're getting that nice chunk of HP. But this will be a really good build. And for Valkyrie at 11, level 11, these are kind of crazy stats. Because her defense here is at 1275, but I think her base defense is, well, we can actually look. Let's go ahead and equip these. Yeah, it's almost 1600. I was going to say 1600. So you're going to get another 325 base defense, which is going to then get multiplied. You're going to get that twice at least. So you're going to get another 700 defense. You're going to be at 4K. You're going to be over 4K defense. And then her HP is 18K, so you're going to get another, what is that? Yeah, you're going to get 7,000 more HP here, so you're going to probably pick up 21,000, maybe 22,000 on top of what you've got. You're going to be closer to 50,000 than 40,000 HP probably. So that's going to be a really nice stats for you. And that speed is perfect for her. That's about where I run mine. I think mine might be even a little bit slower than this. Not slower than this, but slower where you're going to be when she's glyphed. I think mine runs around 220. All right. Hey, listen, good luck on the clan boss. Sorry, I couldn't give you a more definitive answer. Thanks for letting me mess around on your account. And yeah. And that's it for our bonus. That's it for our bonus stream, folks. So thanks so much to everybody for hanging out. I'm glad that on a Sunday night when we couldn't get a video out, we could have a stream and people could join us and say hello. Sorry I didn't get to say hello to everybody in chat, but it is good to see everybody here. Bobby, Amity, Jacques, Michael, Joshua, Shooter, Undersized Tic Tac, Justin Knight, and Whiskey Wars. And Bloogs. All right, thanks everybody. I will see you in a video tomorrow, I'm sure. But don't forget Tuesday takeovers, 2 p.m. Eastern time. The clocks have changed. So yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.
Have a good one, everybody.